Hello, everybody. Welcome to your favorite weekly podcast, Fanboy Talk. This is TroyBoy017 coming at you live, and I'm joined today by my co-host Mithi. Mithi, how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm pretty good. It's been an uneventful week. It's been I didn't do much this week.
Yeah,
It's actually
it's been
time's kind of gone by pretty short. Like it's felt like a pretty short week. You know.
yeah.
So
I agree with that.
yeah. So
because not much has happened and
yeah,
stuff, I guess.
yeah. What have you been up to this past week?
Not too much. I'm moving. I finished moving. Well, when does the process of moving end? Is it when you get to the place?
Yes, unless it's like
Okay.
that one thing from The Incredibles where they're like, "Oh, we actually finally officially moved in 2 years or
Like
later."
unpacking?
Yeah, that doesn't count. Fuck that. No.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm whatever that is, I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
you want to call that. So that's why it's all empty and
Mhm.
very echoey. So if the audio's bad, I can't.
It's your
do
fault.
anything
It's
about
just
it.
no.
My
It's your
Yeah.
fault. It's your
Okay.
fault for being a bad podcast co-host.
And
So
also, I don't know why it won't turn on.
that's
Audio listeners, the Trans right side is in the bag. Happy Pride, everybody! But I swear to God, I tried every single plug in every box I could find, and it wouldn't turn on. I'm worried it's broken, and I'm gonna be really sad if it's broken. I don't know why it won't.
Did you? I have 4 questions to ask you, and it
Okay.
could fix it. 1, did your browser stop working, or did you restart your computer without shutting it down first?
Oh my God.
2, did you recently change your background to a web page?
You can't. Okay.
3, did you recently add a new item to your active desktop? And 4, do you want to turn off your active desktop?
We can't do Twitter only inside jokes because I've been private on Twitter.
That's
all
true.
Year.
I've been
I don't
too.
have any new followers, and I'm loving it.
We're both private now. I thought I would never stoop down to your level, but I'm private now.
Stoop down to my. This is
This
the
is the height.
Experience.
No, this is.
You agree, it's better, right?
It's better.
Objectively
it is better.
Because Twitter is
the only
a terrible
reason it's
platform.
not better is like retweets on stuff. But other than that, it's actually no. That's better because no one is going to quote retweet.
Who cares?
That's true. Yeah,
I had this realization where it's like, why would I be posting for free? Why would I be creating content, especially content for that guy, for free?
That's fair.
That's not good. I'm not doing that. So I stopped.
Yeah. And now you have a cult. That's what it is.
No,
you have a cult.
Honestly, yeah, kind of.
That's why you're private.
This is so messed up. But I did consider being like, maybe I'll make it a Patreon like thing.
Patreon,
pay me money, you can follow me on Twitter. And
you could just do that on
takes.
Patreon, but then no one would ever do that.
But
does anyone have like an active Patreon feed? Like, do people do that?
Matt Draper.
Oh, okay.
Probably because Matt doesn't use Twitter anymore.
That's
and we're really
true.
proud of him for
it. Yeah.
But like the problem with Patreon and like having a consistent feed is it emails you every single time someone posts.
Yeah.
And so it's like if I just post my Twitter thoughts, your Twitter thoughts. It's just gonna be like Troy Boyo posted a new update on his Patreon page. Check it out, and it's gonna be like I farted. Like I'm gonna lose subscribers instantly.
No, I think that'll get you to gain subscribers. I think this is your big marketing push of 2023.
Yeah,
it's just I farted and shitted. I shitted with 2 Ds. But yeah, for those wondering, I was referencing the fact that Troy's screening of Across the Spider-Verse went so swimmingly well. That was the first reply I got on my tweet.
Happened.
Was that? Oh, I hope your screening wasn't like Troy's. And I was like, what happened?
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry that your Twitter is just now.
I don't give a fuck.
It's okay. You need a.
I went to the theater. I got this. Did you get this?
Well, it's upside down. I know what it is.
Oh, that's right.
No, I didn't.
I don't even know if it shows up because of the crop.
Well, no, I could have probably because so. This
for audio listeners. I was showing a gun. I don't.
I don't know how Spotify's like terms of service works.
I don't know if that's good. It wasn't. I guess. You can look at the video.
For those who are not on the 7,500 people that followed me on Twitter, probably less now because a lot of people probably had followed me not realizing I was private.
Yeah.
But
like, who's this
my
guy?
screening, I went to go see Spider-Verse 2. We'll talk about this later, but I'm gonna keep on calling the first one Spider-Verse because I'm not gonna that's never gonna.
You can't just call this Spider-Verse. You could call it maybe like the new one Spider-Verse movie, but even
Spider-Verse.
But then what do you call them? Yeah.
That's not, and I'm not calling. I'm not saying Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I don't fuck with subtitles like that.
No,
that's not happening.
They should have just honestly called this.
I got shit to do. I got stuff to do. Okay.
Yeah. They want to market it as Spider-Man. They need Spider-Man for
I understand.
click-through rate or whatever.
That's
how movies work, right? Is you click through it, and then they measure that.
I wouldn't be surprised if like they start getting like thumbnail designers to make posts. They kind of already are at this point. They're already thumbnails.
Yeah, I mean, did you see the 4K? Now. Did you see the 4K art for the Steelbook or whatever?
No, I didn't. No, is it bad?
It's not. I don't think it's bad, but like it's the PS4 renders and like promo art from other stuff that they kind of just like threw in there.
No,
like the Ben Reilly suit is just Ben Reilly from the game,
that makes me so
or like
mad.
the Hot Toys or something.
Okay,
which is kind of weird.
The next Best Buy one or whatever.
Yeah. The one with Screen X across it, and it ruins the entire poster. Or like the Dolby Atmos ones, where it's just like this is a great poster, but then that logo kind of ruins it.
No, it's ruined with the logo. Yeah, I went to go see it in Dolby. Today, and I was really excited because this is the first time I've done Dolby in like years. Because I was and I got A-list again because I'm back home and I have AMC's around me now. I was really excited. I show up and the screen is black, and I'm like, okay, that's a little weird. Maybe it'll turn on eventually. 15 minutes go by, it doesn't turn on, and I'm like, that's weird. Maybe they'll fix it. And because I just really wanted to see the Ninja Turtles trailer. I was really excited, and then because I haven't seen it yet.
They keep playing the same trailers at my place, and it's just it's the Flash trailer, and then it's the old Transformers trailer, and then
not even the one with Pete.
No, you can hear Pete's voice a little, but that's it. And it's just like, I don't. It's the one with the endgame fight at the end, you know. That's what I call it now, the endgame fight. Yeah. So I want to see Mission Impossible trailer in IMAX, but they won't let me. I watched this movie in IMAX. I don't know why I paid for IMAX, because I don't like it. They didn't like crop anything or anything like that. But I was just like, there's IMAX tickets. So
can I have a hot take? Can I just have a hot take? IMAX is a scam. IMAX is quite literally maybe not the worst.
It wasn't a scam for Guardians. It wasn't a scam for Guardians because Guardians was kind of fun to watch in IMAX. And like the Flash,
that was my least favorite part about Guardians. I hated why does the aspect ratio keep changing?
Did it change for you? For me, it didn't change.
Oh,
it only changed in the credits.
Maybe that's why.
That maybe that's
so in normal digital, it just went up. It kept on going wide.
The only ones that do it correctly, and I say this, fuck Christopher Nolan. I love Christopher Nolan. Fuck Christopher Nolan. He ruined it. The only ones that do it correctly is the Hunter Games. Jesus, the Hungry Games.
Chris Nolan's Hunger Games.
No, the only two movies I did correctly. I was gonna say Hunter Games, but that's not it. And then I was gonna say Hungry Games, and that's not it either.
The Starving Games.
Hungry Hippo Games. The Hunger Games. Mockingjay did it correctly, where Katniss goes through and then the screen expands to IMAX.
Oh yeah,
that's sick as fuck.
Yeah,
and then Fallout, where he's like looking there and then expands as he's like looking outside.
Yeah, I'm
at the
cool
clouds.
with it if it's like a
stylistic choice.
Not even a style. No, not like I guess short, but like if it's for like set piece isn't big, and then like the big set piece is big, and then everything else is normal. Like one scene, I hate to use this one, but The Mandalorian season 1, episode 2 or whatever. It was weird on TV, but in theory that makes sense. Where it's like, okay, it gets big for a little bit, and then it gets normal. But Guardians on digital kept going up and down. We talked about it in our Guardians episode though.
Yeah,
that was the one thing that bothered me. But I just I don't know. IMAX is like, okay, it's bigger. Sit closer.
Yeah.
If you want to see a bigger screen.
That's fair.
Dolby at least has good audio, and the black levels are really good in Dolby.
To the point where
they're annoying about it. Have you seen a movie in Dolby?
I have not. I saw one in Dolby MX Sound, but that was like a sound thing. I don't know if the presentation was different. So
Dolby does this little preface before every movie. Like, it's so pretentious, I hate it, but it's really funny. Where they're like, "This was black at the movies before, and now this is the new." And they show like a side by side of like a little gray, and then like actual true black on the new screen or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool, good for you. But then they're like, but then at the end it's all black, and they're like, "Yes, the projector's still on." I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I'm here because I like your chairs, and you're like, this is good. You're better than IMAX. I get it.
Yeah.
Calm down.
The IMAX intro is too pretentious too. By the way, the IMAX intro, I mean, that's true, but it's always like, IMAX, this is the way to do it. You don't do it any other way.
Yeah.
IMAX.
Is it still the roller coaster? Is it still like you're on the ride?
It's no, it's like
Regal? That might be Regal.
That might be Regal. This is the the cloud weird infinite cosmos.
Oh,
thing.
I remember that. Yeah. At least it's better than the fucking 40X. The
40X?
Whatever one has the screens on the side.
Oh, a Screen X. That is the Screen X stuff. I don't get Screen X. I will never understand Screen X.
Yeah,
I don't get it. No. But yeah, good.
Yeah, mine
good
broke.
For you.
That was the point of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine broke. It said all the things you said in your bit, and then I found out that they run this movie theater on Windows 95, and I was like, okay, that seems a little concerning, but okay. Yeah. And then it started, but there was no sound, and it went a little too far. We did a whole Nicole Kidman ad without sound. The movie straight up started. We got a couple minutes into the movie without sound. I was like, okay, that's not good.
I'm scared to watch the Nicole Kidman ad without sound. There's something, or is it scarier with sound? No, but it's the pretentious one, right? It's like we are at the theaters and we're here.
Oh no, that one's not pretentious. That one's like very down to earth.
Just beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. That's what it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
It's something about it seems.
I'm a Maria Menounos fan. I won't
lie. I think I did get the Maria Menounos something ad.
Yeah, I got her at the gas station on the way home.
There you go.
Sounds so mean. It sounds so insulting.
Did you get soups on the gas station when you got?
Oh my god.
I need to get soups in my movie theater, man. I need to see that man in his glory on the big screen, preferably in IMAX.
Yes.
But
yeah, so mine broke, and then they were like, sorry, we can't fix it by the time that we would be able to do the next showing, so here's a free pass. I lost the free pass immediately. It must have been like a Polar Express type situation where like I had a hole in my pocket or something. But like I put it in, and they're like, look again, it's gone. And I'm like, hey, can I get another one? I'm really sorry, I lost it. And she was like, ugh, and she gave it to me. And I'm like,
okay.
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I have A-list. I'm not gonna pay for a ticket ever again.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I rush. So then I'm like, okay. And I hear other people saying there's a 3:00 in a normal one or a 3:30 in IMAX, but the IMAX one's basically full. And again, IMAX is a scam. And so I was like, okay, whatever. And so I go outside to the kiosk to buy, because they said it was a whole thing. They said to go to guest services to get a free poster. I didn't get a free poster because the line was super long because it was a whole movie theater.
Yeah.
And so I went outside to get the kiosk. And then we need to rewind a little bit because this is important. This is very important.
Let's do this one more time.
Do you see this? Do you see this thing?
Yeah.
This guy? Audio listeners. This is the Miles Morales popcorn
It's not a gun.
AMC. It's not a gun. No. I don't do that.
No.
AMC didn't give me that. I got that. I was like, that's really cool. And when I went up to it, I was like, when I went up to the guy, I was like, I talked to him, and it was like, something was a little weird. I was like, did I say something wrong? Did I do something? Nothing on him. He was great, because when I went to the kiosk again, he came up to me. He was like, hey, what's your name? And I'm like, Troy. And he's like, do you have a YouTube channel? I was like, oh no, this was not, because I was also in a huge rush because it was 2:50. No, it was like 3:20. The movie was about to start. I was like, I can't.
Yeah.
This is also the first ever.
I was gonna say, is
this
I've your first fan interaction?
And I was like. And remember when No Way Home came out, and I was like, man, nobody recognized me. That sucks. Because I had a big ego back then. And now I'm like, but his name is Daniel. He's the one that sold me the popcorn bucket. So this is Daniel's now. Daniel's really cool.
Wow.
Daniel was really cool. And Daniel, if you're listening to this for whatever reason, I'm sorry I was weird. I was really tired and stressed out.
You got your fan interaction. Damn.
I was not prepared. like mentally. Like if you had said something like when I came in, maybe, but then 20 minutes in a dark theater and then have to rush out and buy it. Yeah. But Daniel, you're really cool. Thank you for getting the popcorn bucket for me.
That's actually really cool. Damn.
Yeah.
Good for
really
you.
Cool. Yeah, and
you made it.
I like that.
You're famous now. You're officially famous now. That's what that means.
I like the popcorn bucket because like the eyes look black, right? Because the eyes are see-through, and when you fill it up with popcorn, they turn white, like Spider-Man.
Oh,
so
okay,
so it's fun. It's a fun little thing, and they have a Gwen.
So it's
one,
like
I might get the.
So is it like upside down? Is the popcorn go?
No, there's just a little hole in the back of his head.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the
it doesn't fit that much popcorn from the gun. No, yeah, Miguel did that to him.
Man.
Good, so good for you. I started off the movie a little stressed out, and it took me a little while to get vibing.
Yeah, the movie's. No, we can't review the movie yet. I have time.
Yeah, we have to talk about what else we did this week.
What else we did this week?
2 episodes of I Think You Should Leave. What did you do, Mithi?
Yeah. All my shows ended, and I'm sad now. That's one thing.
Yeah. Your whole personality.
Literally, my whole personality is Succession, Ted Lasso, and Barry, and they all ended within like 72 hours of each other. Also, the one Indian show I watched, Never Have I Ever, is ending in 2 weeks. The Flash ended. Ted Lasso ended. I said Ted Lasso already. Titans ended, so there's nothing for me to make fun of anymore. There's nothing left. That was really my favorite show. There is nothing left for me anymore. Mission Impossible is on a second to last movie. Probably Guardians ended a couple months ago. Everything in the world is ending. So I
really think Mission Impossible's not like
they said it's like I mean, but like, is it gonna be the same after the next one, part 2?
Of course not.
No,
it will not be. But nothing ends in this capitalist society.
That's true. I saw a tweet that was like, I want a Young Sheldon style show for Ted Lasso,
I saw that
Succession, and Barry. And you know what? At first I was like, ew, but then I thought about it and I was like, in a way this could work, but it would never happen.
I think every show needs a Young Sheldon type spinoff where just the main character is a baby.
Do you want to hear something?
I think Young Sheldon should get Younger Sheldon. Personally,
that makes sense. No, so 3 months ago, I caught my girlfriend watching Young Sheldon, and I was like, "What? Why are you doing this?" Now all my YouTube shorts are just Young Sheldon clips. It's just Young Sheldon clips after Young Sheldon clips after Young Sheldon clips. And do you know what's the worst part? They're not that bad.
It's not that. It's not
that bad. It's okay. It's okay.
Theory.
It's okay. No, his brother is a fun character. That's it.
Yeah. No, I don't love it. It's a decent. It's funny that it's a Big Bang Theory spinoff because it is basically zero connection to Big Bang Theory. Like
my girlfriend told me, she was like, "Oh, what's Big Bang Theory?" And I was like, I didn't believe her, but she successfully gaslit me for like an hour or 2 hours into thinking that she didn't know what Big Bang Theory was. And then I was like, I just felt like an idiot. But yeah, no, it's a fine show. It's just like a dumb network show, and entertainment isn't inherently bad, I guess, unless it's made with bad intent. I can't think of an example off the top of my head.
I think the setting is pretty fresh of like in like super rural conservative Texas and providing commentary on that. I think that's neat. We only watched one episode. We just watched the Halloween episode and we didn't like it, but it was fun.
Yeah. But it's just a show. YouTube Shorts is making me just get used to everything because it's turning my brain to mush, because anything can be shown on YouTube Shorts and it can be entertaining. And then after you think about it for a second, you're like, wait a second, was that kind of alt-right? What? Because that's the thing on YouTube Shorts now. There are a lot of channels that are just like kind of alt-right, but they kind of sneak it in and they don't tell you until you look at the description, and the description is something very, very...
Yeah, that's why I don't use YouTube Shorts, because despite the fact that YouTube has known me for upwards of 10 years with the same account that I've been using,
throw you that
it'll be like, here's Ben Shapiro destroys liberal in debate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hate this, and I tell it all the time. I hate this, but versus TikTok will be like, "Oh, you're slightly."
TikTok will adjust to you, and it'll throw you a lot of that one thing.
TikTok will adjust to you way too quickly. Like Zelda came out the next day. I couldn't not see Zelda content.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's like it's to a scary degree, but Zelda's also really good.
Yeah.
I love
TikTok is also. Yeah. I will say TikTok's also fast to listen to you. Like every time you go on Amazon and stuff, you will get those things on TikTok faster than you get on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah,
because YouTube Shorts is not looking at that.
Yeah, it's very true. But also, I don't understand. I don't know.
But Zelda's fun.
Shorts.
You like Zelda.
YouTube Studio told me to start making shorts, so maybe I'll start making shorts. I don't know.
And compile videos
into shorts. I'm too tired to make shorts.
That's true.
I just want to. I don't know.
You're an old man in your late 70s.
I want to make a pre-write again. I want to pitch a movie. I haven't done it since Man of Tomorrow. I haven't done it since we thought Henry Cavill was going to be Superman again. That's how long it's been.
Pitch Spider-Man 7, Troy. Pitch Spider-Man 7. I want Spider-Man 7.
Okay, actually, never mind. Maybe I'll just make Velma videos forever.
Yeah, make Velma videos forever. Is that show still? They renewed that show. I don't even remember. Did they?
For what, Max? I don't know. I don't care.
Yuck.
Who cares? There's too much shit going on for me to care about anything I don't care about.
That's fair. There's Spider-Man gameplay though.
There's Spider-Man gameplay,
and that was really good. That was fun.
I made that. Wait, you didn't.
You did. I watched the video. I did watch the video.
No.
I watched your video.
I made that.
I didn't say anything about it, but I did.
I made that video in 12 hours.
You did. Thing. Did you stay up the whole night?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
No, but I'll talk. I wrote it. So it came out Wednesday. We were at the aquarium on Wednesday, and we were out at the aquarium all day at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. We saw the otters. It was really fun, and I saw that, and I knew it was coming out, and I was like, "It's fine. Whatever. I'll be okay." And then the game clip, because I thought it was gonna be a trailer. I thought it was gonna be a 2-minute thing, and no, they said no. We're gonna release a 2-minute trailer and 10 minutes of gameplay. I was like, okay, this is rough. And so I went through it all, and I wrote a script in a night, and then I filmed it Thursday afternoon, and I said, oh no, I have to have this out tomorrow because Olivia's graduation was Friday, and so I stayed up all night. And then I went to a 3-hour graduation the next day.
Oh, and you were awake the whole 3-hour graduation?
But I got basically 100K views, so it's okay.
That skyrocketed in views like within the first day.
Spider-Man content.
And you're clearly a prophet, and you knew everything. And
you know.
You guessed, and the Gwen thing is definitely happening that you pitched. Definitely. That's definitely going to happen. I'm sure that's going to happen. Am I insulting you? Is that too far?
I'm trying to find a bridge between like fridging Gwen and fridging fucking Ms Marvel, but I can't.
Oh, I completely forgot the Ms Marvel thing happened. I wanted to be if I was ready to like just message you and be like, we need to rant about this for 15 hours because I was very pissed off. Not 15 hours, 15 minutes plus maybe an hour, the length of a regular podcast. What are they doing over there?
I saw Anne was posting that article from that writer whose name I don't remember. It nailed it to a T. She said this one line where it was something like something along the lines of like I just hope that my love for comics dies too, so that I don't have to put up with this anymore. I was like,
it was something of like, I wish I loved comics less because they don't love me back that much.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, that's kind of how. That's how I've been feeling about it. The ASM run, because it's just, I think I'm at the point. Xavier's, never mind. I think that might just be a Patreon thing. So never mind. Ignore.
No, Xavier died. Remember? Did you see he tweeted that he was going to eat the SpiderVerse burger? And then he bought it, and then he was like, if I don't say anything in 20 minutes, I assume I died. And that was his last tweet really from funny. What I remember. He didn't tweet anything for at least like a day after that.
That's really, really funny. But I was going to do a video on like why I stopped reading Spider-Man comics, and it would be a clickbaity title, because I really just mean I stopped reading ASM.
And the thumbnail is just like the Kamala Khan death or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah. I don't know.
Whatever. I read it because I wanted to give it a chance to just know what's happening, and then I was like, this didn't know. So
like, I don't even blame Zeb. I don't blame anybody. except like editorial and like the higher ups and shit. And just like it's
supposedly
a book that's
he's
like
a co.
So what?
Supposedly he's a co-writer on the Marvels, like when that's coming out. I don't know how much, which is
that's
odd.
weird.
I don't think they would kill her off in that movie. That feels weird.
Can you imagine?
That'd be.
No, they're probably just gonna kill her off and bring her back for synergy with the fucking MCU. She's gonna have sparkly powers now.
Yeah.
And then everybody that would say, "Hey, don't worry about the MCU powers. It's not gonna matter. It doesn't affect the comics at all."
Yeah.
And then here we are. Anyway, the MCU is a bane of my existence.
Yep. Is that the podcast title? The MCU is the bane of my existence. I feel like that's been the podcast title for like 15 episodes.
I was thinking your favorite weekly podcast, but I'm starting to remember that I think that might be the last one also.
Yeah. The last week's episode.
Last week's episode,
probably trying to let's title that too. Yeah. But yeah, that's what else happened in the past week. I don't know. Nothing else that's important. Go watch Succession.
I think You Should Leave is funny so far. I've only watched 2 episodes, but I really like.
Is it a new season that's out? Why aren't people talking about it now? Is third season? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. It reminded me because I thought about it when we were when I mentioned Ben Shapiro. There's a funny bit in it. Never mind. I'm not gonna go through and recap a fucking sketch from it. People are here for a Spider-Verse review. It's been 25 minutes.
Okay? Yeah, we have.
Who cares? Okay. Who cares about our lives? We gotta make Spider-Man content.
At the end of the movie, Tom Holland kills Zendaya. The actors. I'm not funny anymore. I lost all my funny. I lost all my funny. I didn't have any funny to begin with, but I'm not anymore.
Well, I think I'm just shocked that you would spoil the movie like right away. We haven't done spoilers yet.
I know.
Okay,
we didn't even talk about
the movie's really good.
That's true.
Talk spoilers now.
I did make a post on Twitter that was very in lieu of my Batman review. That's like very unique, where I called it a fucking mess.
I saw that
and I
too,
stand
and
by that.
Wow, that's I don't disagree, but that's a harsh way to phrase it.
I know, because I like phrasing things like in a unique way, if you will. So I thought it was
the Batman one was like, oh, you're being vague about something, and like you sound like you hate it. This one, you're actively saying things that sound like you hate it.
But I'm just also actively saying things that say that I love it. So they're just like, it's just like I had an aneurysm and I don't know what I'm talking about, which basically is my current state. It was kind of fucking perfect. It was also a mess narratively, but it was honestly maybe better for that.
I don't know if I would call it a mess. Like, I think that term might be a little, because it's like when I think mess, I think like we've had a lot of messes lately. Like very messy.
People talked about pacing issues. I think in terms of pacing, it is a mess.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I wouldn't. Again, mess feels so aggressive. Of like, but I don't like the pacing very much. But it's also this is the important thing, and I sound like an MCU fan from 2018. This is only half of a fucking movie. The movie's not over. This was really like I knew it going into it. And then it started to click with me. I'm like, oh, this movie's not gonna end today. I gotta wait a year for the fucking ending.
Yeah, and that's the thing with this movie too is like with Infinity War and Endgame. If you are making MCU comparisons, they're still their own movies. Like even though they filmed it at the same time on all this stuff, the scripts were developed probably relatively independently. Like this is one movie, this is the other movie. Oh shit, okay, this is kind of one big movie, but not really. So Infinity War, I think, stands well on its own, and Endgame, it kind of does, I guess. Sure, why not?
Yeah, but like, I don't think this is the conclusion to Infinity War, and that's it.
My guess is the way this movie is built, it's probably not the case. I think upon watching the next movie next year, the two of these will flow into each other a lot better.
Yeah, this movie feels like it ends at the midpoint of a 5-hour movie.
Yes, it feels more like a midpoint. Kind of. Yeah. I hate bringing it up, but kind of Harry Potter Deathly Hallows-ish.
Yeah, well, yeah, I saw because Dune, Fast 10, fucking. I guess if you want to consider Infinity War Endgame in this, the Harry Potter movies, Mockingjay, Twilight, like there's this new. It's not even a new trend now. Like the part 1, part 2. But we're
Yeah.
seeing a lot
No,
more
I
just
mean,
recently.
even Indian movies do this. They used to do this with like South Indian movies where, I mean, it wasn't like culmination movies, but like just a big event movie that would get made would be a part 1, part 2. They did it recently with Ponniyin Selvan. And the first movie is kind of like Infinity War, where it's like its own thing, but then it ends in a place. The second movie continues from that place. But then you have other examples where it's like the first movie needs to be understood with the context of the second movie and stuff like this. So I think you're going to see more eventized part 1, part 2 movies in the future. I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't know if it's a bad thing, but it's good if they do it like this, I guess.
Yeah, this is definitely the best case scenario of it. And I'm like, it just feels weird to like constantly now, like movies release like, oh, half. We only made half of a movie now. You got to wait next year for the rest.
It's also the thing of, I mean, even when you look at a TV show, right? That's like 6 to 8 episodes. Usually that mid-season finale era period is where something big happens, you know? And so I think if you were to take probably something like this movie in the next Spider-Verse movie and put it in a TV show, it would maybe work pacing wise if you segment it out like that, you know? But I don't think they're necessarily writing it as TV shows and then changing it to 1 part, 2 parts, but like people like longer stories now. People like taking more time to tell a story. And this movie takes more time to tell a story, and oh my fucking god, the first half of this movie is perfect. It's perfect. The first half of the movie is fucking it's perfect.
Interesting. I actually think the I don't think it's not, I don't think it's bad. I think the second half is perfect. I think the second Miguel half again, I love it. That's not really a spoiler. Sorry, Miguel's in the movie. Fucking.
And you don't see him like right away, I guess.
Yeah. Like the second,
you don't see him in the first 2 seconds of the movie.
The second the movie like starts,
and you don't see him in the last 2 seconds of the movie because that's the credits. So you can't you don't see
no credit scene. Thank God, I had to pee.
We can say that. Yeah, I also had to pee, and I looked it up just to make sure.
I feel like it's a moral responsibility to say, hey, there's not something because I'm over credit scenes.
Yeah,
but yeah, like I remember just being like, oh, the movie hasn't started. Like
yeah.
The movie, it kept on feeling like not panic.
And I did feel like too, especially in the first like 10 to 20 minutes of this movie, it's taking its time to get things going. And it's one thing that must be said. This is gorgeous. This is the most gorgeous movie I've seen this year. Probably the most gorgeous movie I've seen in the past 10 years.
Yes.
Oh my fucking God. I saw a tweet that was like, if they took one of these action scenes and put in the MCU, it would have been one of the best action scenes in the MCU. But I don't even, you can't, the style of animation is so varied and so, unique, that you can't replicate this in live action. And that's the point, you know, is to be able to have that fluidity between animation styles. And oh my God, there's stuff in the second act that's perfect. It's perfect. I was just like this the whole time, you know?
Yeah. No, I completely, like, it's I knew it was gonna be, and I was just like, this is, you know, I think like a lot of people are like, is it better than the first? And I don't know if I could say that because it's not over. It's like, that's why that's what I don't want. Like, that's what I'm worried about. If this is the new trend of like everything being a part 1, part 2 now, like now I don't feel like I can review.
It's not as digestible, like, you know.
Yeah,
if you're looking for a nice digestible,
I feel like I'm stopping the movie midway through and I'm going to sleep and then I'm coming back the next day, but now a year later.
And I think it's not as digestible. Like if you're just gonna sit down and watch a movie and then just be like over with it, it's harder to do that with this movie than it is with the first movie, because the first movie is a really neatly tight script. It starts in one place. It
I made a
ends
video
in
on how perfect it
you
is.
did, and the story structure.
Nobody watched it.
I watched it,
which is really funny. Which is really funny because the second this movie ended, I was like, this makes me think about structure a lot, because this is structured. This is the first half of a movie, and it's trying to structure itself like at both times. It's trying to do both things, ironically, because that's the whole point of this movie. It's trying to do both, be one movie and also be the first half of two movies, and it's like it's I think it's clearly leaning towards when the third, and this is just smart because this is the legacy. Is my camera flashing?
I saw it once, but I think it's fine.
Oh, right. Let's hope that's not a problem. I am way too tired to deal
with
that.
My webcam does the SpiderVerse glitch sometimes.
Oh, wow, you're so cool.
It goes like crazy, but then it's also annoying as fuck because I'll be in like a Teams meeting and it'll do that, and everyone will be like, "What's going on?" So that's fun.
But like it makes sense to focus on, like, in 10 years, people are going to look at this trilogy the same way we look at Star Wars, I think, where like you think of Star Wars, the Star Wars trilogy as that's the trilogy. You watch that all in a day, right?
Yeah.
You watch that all in a weekend. Right now, it feels weird because we have to wait a year before it finishes.
Yeah.
But the longevity of this, like, this is going to cement itself in history a lot better than something like a lot of other trilogies lately, where the second one stands on its own. Like not the shit on Spider-Man movies, but like a Far From Home, which doesn't really flow into
the next
No Way
one
Home particularly well.
But then people could take Far From Home on its own still.
Exactly.
And just like,
yeah, people will watch Far From Home and enjoy it on its own. And I think people will still watch this and enjoy it on its own. But once 3 is out, you can't really watch 2 without watching 3. Which is fine. That's not. I feel like it's being negative. I think I'm just tired because it's been a long day. Like I still love it. I still really like it. That is literally the only thing I don't like about the movie. But even that, I don't not like it.
That's not even a problem with the movie. It's just the way the story is. It's structured.
Just that's what. Yeah, they wanted. Lord and Miller were like, hey, let's write a 5-hour movie about Spider-Man, which is a clear love letter to everything ever Spider-Man. Not just movies and not just Peter Parker, but like a love of the entire concept. And I'm like, rad, that's sick. I'm very worried about my camera flashing. Whatever. If that's, I'm sorry, everybody.
There you go.
And so I'm like, that's worth it for whatever, like pacing issues and stuff I don't care about.
Because for me, it was because going into it,
they were allowed to make a 5-hour movie about everything they love about Spider-Man. That's a big deal.
And about very niche things too, that they elevated material from like the comics and like the Mumbattan stuff. I will say I was not expecting it to be good. I was kind of scared about it. It is great. It's fucking. It's really good. I don't speak Hindi. I'm Tamil, so I don't know anything about like Mumbai and that area of India. But from what I could tell, they got everything right down to like when they entered Mumbattan, and it's like the Bollywood music and the instrumentals and everything. It just felt straight out of a Bollywood movie. Like for just like that brief like 15-minute just of him entering the world, that I was like, okay, they got this right. They talked to the right people. They figured this out, and it feels real, And I commend them for that, because I was not expecting them to get that right. I don't know why I wasn't, but I for some reason I wasn't.
Because you're, a famous hater of the Spider-Verse movies and of its creators, and you never trust them.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's more just because they keep fucking up Indians in American movies.
I feel that. Eternals really broke
there was an example recent. Oh yeah, the Gray Man. Eternals in the Gray Man. Why did I watch the Gray Man?
Why do you watch this? Why do you watch Ghosted? Why do you do this to yourself?
Oh yeah, that's right. I watched Ghosted.
At this point, this is your fault. I'm sorry.
This is my fault. I watch a lot of shit. I watched Fast X too. I don't know why. I just chose to, and it was
X
fine.
Or is it 10? Is it like the iPhone?
I think it's Fast X, but I think people call it Fast 10 as well.
It should have been called Fasten Your Seatbelts.
I think that was the idea. It's like Fast 10. Like, I think that's what people were saying, was like they called it Fast 10 because they wanted people to make that joke. But I'm like, good for you, Vin Diesel. I guess
I'm not original. Fuck me, I guess.
He got his Guardians paycheck and he used it to produce all these movies. I don't. Why are we talking about Fast 10?
I don't know. You probably.
I don't know. Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse is really good. I don't have any other spoiler-free things that.
No, it's just
it's pretty.
The whole concept of this movie
music is the best music.
The music is the best music. The instrumental for Miguel's theme is just perfect. There's like one bit of it. Yeah, there is one bit of it from like the first teaser they ever released for this movie that I used in like a short film, because it works on every level as just kind of a terrifying little thing. And the fact that they kept that from like not just a trailer thing and it was actually in the movie was awesome, and it was really cool. So Yeah, that's spoiler free thoughts. Go watch it.
We honestly went a little spoilery before. Whatever.
A tiny.
If you're watching this, if you're like, oh, I don't want to hear anything about Spider-Verse. Why the fuck are you
watching a thing about Spider-Verse?
It's like I like who. I don't know. If you're whatever, you clicked it.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I want to go completely blind. Anyway, let me see what these two fucking guys have to say.
Yeah,
these two guys that famously don't know how to structure their podcast and just talk over each other,
kind of go on the riff. Yeah, like I'm doing right now. Yeah, exactly. Okay,
but yeah, that's first spoiler warning.
Yeah, first spoiler.
Get the fuck out of here.
Okay, first spoiler thought. I really fucking wish I tweeted about the bagel thing because I called it like a year ago. I was like, the Spot's a lame character. They're going to do something funny with him. He said he's from Alchemax or something. He's going to be the guy that they're going to make a joke and he's going to be the guy that they threw the bagel at, right? I was going to make that tweet. I was going to make a joke about it somewhere. I really wish I documented it. I did not. And now I feel like a loser. I feel like a fucking loser now.
You ain't no second coming of Christ.
The moment he was like, I was there at the beginning, Spider-Man. The moment he like said that in the fucking bodega, I was like, "Oh God, they're gonna do it! They're gonna do it!" No shit. But it was fun.
At that point, that's like a week before when did that clip come out?
No.
Recently,
the clip came out
when
then.
You're watching it. When
I'm watching it, I was like, "Oh shit, yeah."
Yeah. I really liked that develop. That was because also
that was
a
great.
Spot and there's a hole in a bagel.
Yep.
And that's a fun little.
It's an everything. It's an everything everywhere always reference.
This is gonna be like a weird spoiler talk because we both watched this today. Like, I just got back from watching it, so a lot of the little fun details I need to rewatch this like 10 more times.
I will say one other fun detail I noticed. I didn't realize it, but Ganke's playing Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, I noticed that on the. I was thinking about it and I realized it on the drive home.
Yeah,
I was like,
saw it.
I was like, oh, that's cool. Why is he?
Because you see the arms. Yeah, you see the Iron Spider legs, and he like moves it.
Does he go up with it?
No, it's the same animation as the one in the original like cinematic trailer where he like opens it and then he goes like that. It's that move.
It could have just been the fucking the arms from the first game. I need to rewatch
No. It is the Spider-Man 2 because you see the new thing on the I said the IDE like I'm a fucking code developer. The GUI. And then you also see the map looks different too from the original game. It's like a smaller map and it's more in the corner.
Okay.
So it is the new game, and maybe they just gave them footage of like early test play or something.
Probably, yeah.
But my guess is if we're ever gonna figure out something about Spider-Man 2 from this movie, it's probably like that's the.
I'm gonna make a whole 10-minute video just on that.
Yeah.
Just pirated footage from the.
Yeah, exactly. No, my guess is it's just like, okay, the one thing you can get from this is probably whenever Peter loses the Venom symbiote in Spider-Man 2, he's going to use the Iron Spider arms.
And then the Iron Spider legs are going to be a big deal, and you better get used to them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, oh man.
I wish you will. I don't know how they're going to let you play with
really
the symbiote
excited for Miles Morales too.
What if the thing is the symbiote transfers from Peter to Miles and then you play with like Miles symbiote instead if you want to play with the symbiote? No, that doesn't really. No, I don't like that either. I said it out loud.
I think they're just gonna make it that you can just have the symbiote.
To do it in case. Yeah, that's fair.
It's a game.
Yeah. It's not real? What?
It's not real.
But it was on the screen. I saw on the screen he was playing it.
Yeah, YouTube Shorts really did a number on you.
Yeah, you do shorts number on me.
Those were
the two big ones I noticed
that I can't like.
Another little thing.
Think of them at the moment.
I know you can't think of them, and I keep throwing them at you, but I'm going to keep throwing a couple of them at you. Another one, Spectacular Spider-Man. They actually gave Josh Keaton lines. Crazy. That's cool.
Which they spoiled on Twitter. I'm kind of pissed about.
Yeah, because he was like, he is in the movie, and I'm like, great job, Chris Miller.
Why do people want this movie spoiled for them so bad? Like, I don't know. It's so weird. It was almost worse than No Way Home.
I did get Prowler spoiled. I did get Donald Glover spoiled for me, which was kind of a shame.
That was a fun surprise.
He
did not want to be there. It was really funny.
No,
he was like, I'm
assuming that's just like a different version of him. It's not like the MCU one. It's just who cares? It's a movie.
I hate to break it to you, Mithi. We're never seeing that fucking guy again.
No, he got his paycheck and he left.
No, not even that. the MCU Prowler will never exist.
No, that's
he
true.
Might as well be Prowler.
He might
right
be in
now.
a Sony if Sony gives him enough paycheck. They'll put him in a Venom movie. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, have him. Yeah,
or they'll put him in the new live action. They'll put him in the live action Miles movie. Did you hear? That's such a. I saw that news. And I was not surprised in the slightest. I was like,
why is that a bad
no,
thing? That's a
good no, it's not a bad thing. I was just like, I thought this was already announced, but I guess not. I just assumed it was happening for some reason. I gaslit myself into thinking it was real.
So long because if I
don't know. You would have they would have announced it like 3 years ago, but
same with like a Miguel movie and stuff. But the Venom cameo.
Yeah,
they just used really clips from the movie, right? That wasn't like that lady didn't come to set to film that, right?
No, because you can't recreate this. Are they filming Venom 3 right now? No,
I don't think so.
Because if they were filming it like right now, then I'd be like, okay, they snuck that in at the last minute and threw it in there. But I don't think they are, and I feel like it'd be a shame to recreate that whole set.
Every one of her lines was so vague. And she just sort of looked out like, I don't know, but she was also trying to, if she was doing it, she was acting in front of a cartoon character. So maybe like that justifies it.
Are we going to do, here's the thing. When I saw that scene in the Donald Glover stuff, are we going to do like Roger Rabbit style shit now in the MCU eventually? Is that how they're going to bring characters in?
I don't think, I think just for little bits. Like they're not, you can't.
Okay.
No.
I would assume not.
With maybe Spider-Ham. I think that's the only character that could work.
That's true. Yeah,
but that's about it.
That's fair.
Yeah. There was another one that I was like, oh, that's fun. I don't remember what.
Because even when we saw Andrew Garfield, I was like, this. It looks odd. Something about it looks.
That was weird because the mask looked a little off on it. Like not the Spider-Man mask. The masking around him.
Yeah.
It
looked like it was filtered, like cropped out, and then like put in there instead of like.
I was interested. It was like you held on that shot for a while, but you were saying like the Captain. I thought the Captain Stacy from It was the Captain Stacy from Spectacular.
So it was, but that never happened when we watched this show. So
that's new. That's new shit. That's
really new.
Cool.
Okay,
that's like
I will say the other time
that sounds like Gwen also dies in the show. If they're like, oh, these are canon things, they have to happen.
I felt weird. I saw people were like embracing that. It's like, oh, it's really cool that they're like trying to embrace the canon and all that stuff. And I know that the Spider-Verse whole universe does that a lot, you know? I did feel weird that they called it the canon so seriously. Because in my mind, I always think of like caring about the canon and stuff, and that's like ridiculous, which I guess the point of this movie too is that caring about the canon is ridiculous. But the fact that they called it the canon,
they could have called it like a made up sci-fi term of like a control point or something, like, you know, like a web point or something. But also like I thought it was kind of nice to like really hammer that theme home. Because like it very much is a commentary on people that say Miles shouldn't be Spider-Man.
Yes. Oh, in that whole scene where they really reveal that was good. Yeah,
I loved that. I loved that whole theme of this movie, and like that kind of justifies it being its own movie to me.
Yeah.
Instead of
do you think they
trying to cut it down to a 3-hour animated thing or something?
Do you think they went too far in like showing that idea of like it's a fixed point in the timeline and he has to die and you can't do anything about it, and all the characters are like, because I saw a comment, I can say who it is specifically too. It was CJ. I don't think he gives a fuck. Where he was like, it feels. No, he doesn't. I love you, CJ, if you do. But he said specifically that it felt like they kind of character assassinated all the other Spider-Verse characters because they're all so willing to be like, nope, he has to die. See ya. I get that point. Is there any way they could have done without that though? Like I was trying to think about like how they could have done without
how many
that, and I guess all the characters revert at the end. Like Peter B. Parker being like, "Is it? Oh, look, because Ben died and all of us are here." See, his scene makes more sense in that way, but the whole like thing, because it feels very. This is a terrible comparison. It feels kind of Civil War II ish, of like, you know, these things are going to happen and we're not going to stop them because we have to preserve the timeline.
No, I get you.
How do we make that without making all the other characters feel like assholes, you know? And maybe the point is to make all the other characters feel like assholes, but I did feel a slightly bit conflicted about that. not to the fact, like, not that it like made me not enjoy the movie at all because of that, but I was thinking of that in the back of my head of like, man, they're really making everyone in the Spider Society feel like a complete dickwad because of what's going on here. And like, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know. I was just thinking about that.
I don't know. It didn't bother me too much because it's like you said, they like Peter clearly like didn't like having that view, having that mindset. And sure, you could say his character assassinating. I don't
think it's character assassination. I think it's just,
I don't know.
It's they make that decision and they change that decision. I can't talk. They changed that decision by the end of the movie because of how the end of the movie is.
Yeah,
but it's like, yeah. And I guess Peter B. Parker isn't even in the movie for long enough for it to just be the case of
like, it might just be the case of like, on paper he thought of he was told this on paper. Oh, Jefferson has to die the same way, you know. And maybe he didn't know the specifics of it, right? Maybe he just maybe he was finding out about that the moment, you know, and he felt the conflict. I don't fucking know.
And that doesn't matter. Yeah,
I don't care. I didn't see CJ's tweet. I don't give a shit.
And I don't that wasn't even CJ's why takes. Yeah, no, me neither. But yeah, no, that's fair.
No, I think it's more so a case of like, I don't know. I don't know the detail. I need to see the movie again to like really like
this movie anything on that. This movie packs a lot.
There's a lot to it, yeah.
In those moments. And then there's like stuff where it doesn't. And that's why I think in a way I prefer the first half of the movie to the second half of the movie more. Just because like I saw a lot of people saying that they wanted just like a Miles movie at some point, right? Like just like a Miles Morales adventure. That's what the first half of this movie feels like. It's just Miles living his life.
Except for the 20-minute Gwen thing at the beginning.
That's true.
Which I think that's actually a thing that like I really liked it. I really liked it, and it is necessary like at that point. But I think that did kill the pacing.
Yeah,
because it's
that
like,
one for
if you cut that out,
then
sort of every beat would make more sense at where it's supposed to be. But
I think you start the film almost in the high octane action sequence and then boil down from there instead. And the movie does slow pacing a little bit too once Miles like leaves the party, like in that first little bit of like him and Gwen have those moments together and that's all awesome. But then like right after he leaves and is like following Gwen, I feel like that goes on for too long where I'm like, I get it. He's a supervillain. He's going to get a bunch of powers that could, those are the other points where I'm like, the movie could have sped up if it wanted to, but my guess is it's not for some reason for the second movie. So that when you watch the second movie, stuff in here makes more sense, I guess.
That's why I'm saying like, it's hard to like talk about this because it's like, I don't really feel like comfortable like saying, oh, I don't like this thing when the movie's not over.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's weird. Like Yash said it, our favorite fucking timecode guy.
Yeah, Mr. Timecode.
This is the best first half to the best Spider-Man movie ever.
Yes. Yeah.
Like that's exactly, that puts it exactly into like the right wording. Where I'm just like, and then once all the twist shit happened at the end, I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Sucks I'm not going to find out about it till next year.
For another year, yeah.
Yeah.
When is it supposed to come out next year? April?
I looked it up. I think allegedly it's still 2024. It's hard to say because like this one got delayed and stuff.
Yeah.
And then now there's the strikes, but I don't know if the strike I don't know if they wrote it already. I feel like they wrote it already.
They probably are in the middle of animating / close to animating it. So
yeah, exactly. Like they were working on this like it was some 5-hour movie, and there's going to be a 4K Blu-ray of this of just something the Spider-Verse that's both across and beyond, and it's gonna be like the best fucking 5-hour movie ever. I say 5-hour as if it's the next one's gonna be 3 hours long. It'll probably be a 4.5-hour movie or something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't like I don't. That's the thing. I don't care too much about pacing right now because the pacing
we have another movie to look for.
It's what's gonna like determine everything. For me at least. Like this should ideally stand on its own, but like it should be an Empire to a Jedi. But that does mean that Jedi had the problem of like not being able to live up to 2.
Yeah.
But if Beyond is going to come straight off of what the ending of this one is, and it's only a year later, then that sort of fixes that issue. It's almost like building, you know.
And they do a very good job of making Miles feel like vulnerable too.
Yeah, no,
because the last act of this movie
is the best Miles has ever been. Like,
yes,
like great, because Miles is a great fucking character and stuff. But like, I actually felt like because I was always worried that like, oh, how are they now that he's had his origin? What are they going to do with him?
Yeah,
right. Like, what's your thing? Because every sort of solo Miles thing has been an origin, and this is like one of the first times in big media we're seeing Miles already Spider-Man from the beginning. I guess the game he was already Spider-Man, but like it was an origin for the most part.
We saw parts of the origin, yeah.
He was Spider-Man in the beginning, but he didn't have his suit, he didn't have the powers and like all that shit. So like I considered an origin. But yeah, no, like it's really cool to see like a straight up Miles Morales movie. And it does, obviously there are other characters and stuff. And it is Spider-Verse still.
It is kind of funny that we're kind of going like the opposite way in terms of Miles adaptations, where it's like we're getting a movie that's animated with him and a bunch of other characters. Then we're getting him in a game. Then we're getting a sequel to that movie, and we're getting a full trilogy of those animated movies. And then we're getting a live action adaptation. Or I feel like you can't make the live action adaptation an origin. If you do that, it's gonna retread. Yeah. But I feel like they're going to.
That's what I was thinking about with the MCU. Like, how the fuck do you fit Miles into the MCU now that the majority of people think like already know him really well, but you have to sort of squeeze him in, like
the only thing that would make sense is if he's from a different universe, like if he's from Andrew's or Toby's universe and he's just kind of there.
These movies do it well, which is like, oh, I want to talk about this later, but like these movies do it well, but I really hate when Miles is always attached to like that's my least favorite thing about him in the comics is that he's like attached to Ultimate his entire if you were to explain to a child Miles Morales' origin and like life in the comics, it's gonna take a bit. You have to say, yeah, he was in this thing called the Ultimate Universe where Peter Parker died, but now he's not anymore. And he still remembers the old Peter Parker, but nobody else does. Yeah. And so he still has the emotional core to that. It's like, okay, you worked your way around it. I'm glad it's not just like some new version of Miles that just doesn't have the memories of Ultimate and stuff, but it is messy. And you compare that to Insomniac where it's like, yeah, Miles has been here. This is, it's like, that's perfect. That's great.
Yeah. And even this is, I guess, messy too, but the point of it is to be messy. Yeah. Like, I mean, they even address that in this where it's like he's not supposed to exist and shit. So like, I don't know what a live action movie can't be messy. They can't make it too messy. If they make it messy, it's just gonna be more confusing. But
and also the thing with a live action Miles is you have to cast really young because Miles in most things is like he's like 13. Yeah, so at least when he starts out.
I don't know how I feel about them casting like a kid.
I don't want a 15-year-old tied to a franchise for 10 years. That's gross.
But I mean, you don't want to do like an older Miles. You don't want to do an older Miles.
I do want to do an. I kind of do. Yeah. Part of me's like I got shit on this when I made that video and stuff, but like, let Donald Glover be Miles for in live action. I know he probably doesn't want to. Yeah. But like the character exists because of him. He is like the history of why the character exists stems as far back as fucking him wearing a shirt in Community. Yeah. It goes as far back as fucking before Andrew Garfield was cast.
Yeah. He was Miles in the fucking Disney show.
And he was great. Yeah. Yeah. And but I think it would like a lot of people did really want it to be in live action and stuff. Yeah. And like him playing Aaron Davis helped, and him coming back in this was really cool. But like it would, I don't know. I don't fucking know. Do I trust Sony live action movies anymore? That's the other thing. Do I trust them? I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to, but it's either this or you get MCU Miles, and like it's a MCU Miles movie, which I guess this will probably still be. But do you remember that one video when they were doing the press junket for Homecoming where like Amy Pascal was like, yes, we're making a Venom is part of this universe, the MCU. And Kevin Feige was like, I feel like when this live action Miles movie announcement came on, Kevin Feige did the same thing where he was like,
well, Miles could, ironically, what I just said I don't like of Miles being tied to other universes, maybe Miles is just Spider-Man in the Venom universe. And that's why Eddie Brock never met him, because Eddie Brock doesn't give a fuck about Miles.
Yeah, because he's just a Spider-Man there. That would make sense. Although I do, if they make a Venom 3 and he doesn't get the fucking symbol on his chest, what was the point?
Yeah.
You know? Why didn't they even do that in the last movie? I don't know.
Yeah. I keep forgetting the Venom movies exist.
And I think you should keep doing that. Maybe that's a good idea.
But they gotta remind me every that's 5 minutes. I gotta find out about it.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know. I'm
trying to think what else happened that like we can. I will say the art style.
I really like the fact that the canon thing ties back to George Stacy, because that's a very big moment to people that don't watch that people that know the character outside of the movies, because they've never done, because like they did it in TASM, but like it wasn't really a big deal in TASM. It was just, oh, character died. Yeah, like that is a really big fucking deal to Spider-Man. And so like,
because was that the original ASM issue that they were talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like I didn't know that, so
like it could have been very easy to say like, oh yeah, Gwen's death, Uncle Ben's death, that's so important to Spider-Man, because like the movies have done that, and like everybody knows that shit at this point. But like they pulled, like it'd be like if they mentioned Jean DeWolf, like, whoa, that's like a pull from like a fucking, and like George Stacy again isn't like the smallest character in the world, but it's still really neat. I think, and it tied into Miles really, like it's a very smart way to tie it to Miles, and also it ties into the game well, because Miles in the game is his dad died. Like it worked out perfectly. It's I don't know. I think that's a really smart way to make this version of Miles like stand out even further, and like tell that I really like that shit. I don't know, something about that. I was like, oh cool, this feels like it was written by an actual Spider-Man fan and not just a Spider-Man movie fan. Not that Spider-Man movie fans aren't Spider-Man fans, but you know what I'm saying.
And it felt, and that's just the other thing too.
I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
And this is the other thing with it being a two-parter, is that plot line doesn't get like a quote-unquote resolution.
Yeah.
Because that's the point of the next movie. But I thought they would address it, but they didn't. But I guess that's another thing where I'm like, I wish I saw where that went, but that's just a want. Yeah. That's not even a need. That's not even a detriment. It's just like we were going off this cliff, and then it was like, oh fuck, there's another cliff. And that's like where you have to end the movie.
Yeah, it feels like the movie doesn't have like a third act, because it doesn't, because it's act 1 and act 2.
No, even in the third act, there are like 5 separate times that the movie could have just ended. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there could have been like he's in a wrong universe end, or he looks at the thing and he gets punched. That could have ended. You could see him punch when he punched the punching bag. I was like, did he just did he just crush Miles's skull? That's what I thought. I knew it wasn't the case, but I saw like the fucking the Kirby bubbles outside, and I was like, what's going on? Did he just decapitate Miles? But
hey, he got his head right here.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what that is. That's why it's empty. It's popcorn inside. Yeah. But that's what the Kirby bubbles were. It was popcorn.
Yeah, but it's like you also want that twist at the end, because that is a really fucking sick twist that a lot of people are going to get the wrong idea from. The second I saw that, because there's this weird subsect of people that they don't think Miles should be Spider-Man. They think he should have his own name and that he should be Prowler.
Like, and they're gonna.
People are gonna be like, see, that's what he should be, and I'm like, no, this is fucking sick though. It is a really good like I knew it was coming too, but I was like, this is still so cool.
Yeah. You knew it was coming. The design is cool. Like when he like shows up and stuff.
The second I was once he started walking with Aaron, and I was like, other Miles is evil as fuck, and that's gonna be really cool.
Here, yeah.
No, I really really like that twist at the end, but I agree. Like I think it's my issue again, not really an issue. But it's like we build up Spot as this villain. We don't really face off with him in the third act.
No,
like there's nothing to do with him. He's doing his own thing. He's kind of gone
too. He and then and for a second he did his thing in 1610 or whatever, right?
Yeah,
the Ultimate Universe,
1610. Yeah,
he 16,
which 16, I not to be like, oh, I know the numbers so well, but the second I saw the computer say 42, I was like, wait, I thought it was 1610. What the heck? I was like,
that's smart. I didn't catch that, because I also because my other thing too was like, would it be that hard to find him? Because it was just you just track back the logs of
that's what I thought. Traveled. That's why I was surprised. That's like. unless if fucking Gwen's.
But she left them, I guess.
Oh my god, I haven't talked about Hobie yet.
We haven't talked about Hobie. Hobie
was. Oh my god. Oh my god, I love that man. So I knew I was going to. I had like this weird thing where it's like I was obsessed with him for a week before this movie came out. He shows up, he starts talking, he is super British. And I'm like, oh, I knew he was going to be British. I didn't think he'd be that British. I
could not understand it half the time.
I know.
And this was in an really IMAX theater with loud sounds
really
and crazy.
Funny.
I can't understand what the fuck he's saying.
It's really funny. And then he started talking. I was like, oh no, are they like making fun of anarchists and stuff? And it kind of came across that way first. But
I hate the AM. I hate the PM. I like that.
And it was like. It took me a second to sort of get what they were doing with, and then like the love triangle thing, which they like sort of alluded to, but I'm glad they didn't do all the way. But then the second he and Miles are just talking by themselves, I'm like, oh, I love him. I love him to death.
Yeah,
he's the best fucking character.
Even then, like, and maybe it's just because like, I'm deaf. I could barely understand him then too. Really, there were parts where I was like, what are they? What's he saying? Okay. So I need to set subtitles. I need subtitles at some point. I'm sorry.
The tagline. I like the little bubble at the bottom when he's like, "I ain't going to Scooby Doo, mate." And it's just Scooby Doo is British slang for clue. I was like, "That's so funny."
Yeah.
It's so good.
There's one other one for because in the beginning when they were fighting Vulture, they were like, he's got hammer space or something.
Yeah, I like that.
I was like, "What's that?" But the I didn't read the whole bubble, but it's just like the Spider-Ham thing. Is it just the Spider-Ham thing where it's just he has infinite space to pull out cartoony shit? Which I think is funny.
I was really close to the screen and kind of off to the left, so I physically had to move my head to read it, so I didn't read the whole thing at time.
Yeah, no, that's the same thing. Is I had to keep going like this every time they showed something on screen, and it was kind of. They also kept building up Ben Reilly in the promotion for this.
There's gonna be some Ben Reilly fans who are mad. Who are really mad
because he's just like an edgelord.
There are some people, and I think it's really funny because I'm sorry, I don't like Ben Reilly. I think he's fine. I think the character is cool, and the character, like him as a guy, is a thing. He's cool, but he is just dripping with '90s comics stuff that you can't escape, and I hate '90s comics. I don't like that era.
The moment I knew it was Andy Samberg, I was like, okay, this is gonna be just like a joke, like a Spider-Ham style. Like, okay, he's funny, you know.
Yeah, and I think the bits that they did with him were funny because it was calling into like the writing style of the '90s, not just the edgy like I'm so sad all the time, but being like, I'm gonna look at the wall and describe the wall. There's nothing on this thing either.
What happened? Like, here?
All that was really funny. My muscles are super defined in this pose.
I will say there's stuff in this movie about like camera moves where it's like I know it's a virtual camera because it's animated, but camera moves, especially when characters are moving through shit, the way you rotate the camera it was fucking perfect. They do that a lot of times in the not the final fight scene, but like kind of the final fight scene, the stuff where he's running away, where the camera will constantly move and it feels like it's a one take, even though it's not a one take, just because of the way the camera is moving and panning in circles, which I thought was brilliant. That's something that they didn't do a lot in the last movie. That they did a lot.
Yeah, they did a little bit of like the perspective stuff. Obviously, like with the like leap of this movie didn't have the leap of faith scene.
No, it didn't. It tried to do that a little bit with him rushing to. Yeah. And it was for me the leap of faith moment is him on the thing going up to the fucking moon or whatever. That's kind of your leap of faith moment.
For me, it was like right after when he's swinging through the rain. It's just like, this is pretty. But like character wise, it didn't have that. Like this scene defines the movie.
Yeah, and it wasn't that.
Like and so I think that's kind of the only thing that was missing for me.
Yeah,
but that means that the next one's going to have the biggest leap of faith scene in the world.
Yeah,
and it's going to be the best scene in all.
He's
going
to jump off a building.
He's going to jump off a building. It's good. They're gonna flip it again, so it's right.
Can't stop me now again. Yeah. I got 4 web shooters this time.
And I think also the reason I was like sort of just disappointed by the fact that it just ended was I was like I liked Miles throughout this whole movie, but the second he was like, "No, I'm gonna do my own thing," I was like, "Yeah, dude, I'm fucking on board with you." And then it ended.
And then you get him for like,
God damn it,
20 minutes. Yeah.
Not even 20 minutes, like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm also maybe this is not that we need to predict what happens in the next movie, but the way this movie ended, you're not thinking that much about Spot, even though that's supposed to be the main thing that's going on.
You're not thinking about him like you're thinking about Thanos after Infinity War.
Yeah, it's like if Thanos disappeared and then Kang showed up and was like, "I'm Kang, and I'm actually fucking Robert Downey Jr. instead for some reason."
Exactly.
And like that was the whole thing. So I'm like, where does this movie go from here?
Yeah.
And my assumption is probably the first half will be Miles and Evil Miles stuff, and then the second half will be bringing Spot back in.
Yeah, I feel like as much as I really like that set piece, so like running from all the spider people, because it's really fun. It's a ton of fun. I almost feel like that should have been.
You can't do it more than once or twice, though, right? Like you can't do that in the second movie.
No.
Probably.
But I think like I almost feel like that should have been replaced with like Miguel saying, "Okay, let's try and fight this." Not to say like we needed to fight the Spot, but something to do with the Spot at least.
Yeah.
Because we had him on Mumbattan, which the fucking Indian Spider-Man's really cool. He was really great. He was really fun.
No, that's great. That was great.
Yeah, I didn't think I knew he'd be in it.
They did non-bread too, and I'm so fucking glad they did. Because I was like, that good you addressed both, honestly, because no one talks about non-bread. Oh, what kind of bread do you want? Do you want non-bread? Bitch, it's non. It's just non. Stop it. I'm so I remember they like put that sneak peek, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be the best movie of all time. Thank you for addressing this terrible thing white people have done.
I stayed away from like the second I saw they were posting full clips, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, the chai tea clip was everywhere. That was like they put that on like YouTube shit everywhere, so it was kind of annoying. But
okay, yeah, I didn't. I was just like, I'm seeing this movie. For some reason, everybody wants it spoiled for them, but not me.
Yeah,
for some reason, everybody wants to know every Spider-Man that's going to be. I hate that I got the Lego Spider-Man spoiled for me. I'm sure you really liked.
I didn't get the Lego. You finally got. I was like, yeah,
your set. Your set got a cameo.
Yeah, my that was they actually actually I knew because they asked me to use specifically my Daily Bugle set, and I was like, okay, you can use my Daily Bugle, but it wasn't the same set.
They got that 14-year-old.
It would have been funny if they used like the actual Lego one, like because in the actual Lego building, J. Jonah Jameson's office connects to like the meme, Peter Parker office, and they could have used like the actual thing, but instead they just used. I heard somewhere that they had consulted with like Lego animators from like YouTube to do it because it doesn't look it looks like an actual stop motion thing.
It doesn't look like Lego movie, the which is funny because they also made because Lord Miller did Lego
movie. Yeah, and so I thought it was a Lego movie.
It doesn't look like CGI Legos posed through. It actually looks like real Lego, which is really cool.
Someone can correct me, and maybe they cleaned it up. I think it is actually probably stop motion.
That's really cool. That's
fun. So
speaking of JJ, it is really funny that J.K. Simmons is basically JJ in every fucking
movie. Because he's bald in the background and shit too.
He voices every single one of them.
Yep,
and I'm like, God damn it, this is Darren Norris erasure, but it's really funny.
Is Darren Norris the guy who does it in the game?
In Spectacular.
Oh, in Spectacular. Oh yeah, that's right.
Who I honestly think I like JK as I love JK as JJ, but Darren Norris is a better voice.
He's raising my blood pressure. That's my favorite line, like JJ has ever said in anything.
I know.
And I will say also another thing: the Spectacular Spider-Man model in the one where he's like talking to Miles looked weird.
It looked like a 3D model. Yeah,
why was it 3D?
It definitely was.
I don't
Part
know
of me
why
wishes
they
had done that by hand and stuff. It would have been really cool. But it's also for a 2-second line, so I get it.
Would they ever? I know it's been burned to death. No. Would they ever bring the show back? Probably not.
No, I'm gonna say no. Now that we got more of Gwen's universe, I am full on in my desire for a Gwen show. In the I love like in with that same art style, but now just with a little bit more color, like from this. Because holy shit, that was the fucking coolest.
It was. I saw people complaining about it, but I thought it was interesting because it was like. Is the whole idea that it's supposed to reflect her emotions? Is that
they said thing? It was like they said the whole this was the only thing I saw of it. They said it was like a mood ring was what they were trying to go for. Like the colors will change and based on warmth and love and stuff like that. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. Because it's like a tint change. It's not like a temperature change. It's like a tint change.
Yeah, and
because you see like her hair turn blue and then it turns white.
Yeah, it looks like they're like in like really strong RGB lights and they don't actually have like white lights there. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like when you shine a blue light at something blue, it kind of looks like this weird, like you lose all the blue light from it.
Yeah.
Fucking who did the art from that original series though? Because Robbie Rodriguez, yeah, fucking the backgrounds looked exactly like the comic. Like
really
pitch perfect, like like the scene where she's with her dad in their house.
Yeah, and the background's
like
constantly changing, just like
not even that, just the
images.
one that's like just like it's nothing really crazy happens. I'm looking at like this table. I'm like, that looks exactly like how fucking what's their name? Robbie Rodriguez. I literally looked it up and I forgot. That's exactly like the Robbie Rodriguez art. It's like it was scary. It's really cool.
Okay.
The characters don't, but like the actual because that book is super
stylized. No, because even like because I was trying to think of like, not that this matters a fuck ton because it doesn't, like what was going on in terms of their animation styles between universes, because Gwen would look like a 2D character in her universe, and then she goes to Miles's universe and she's a 3D character and everyone is a 3D character, and then she goes to Mumbattan and she's 3D but Miles is 2D. And then I was like, maybe it's just like, you raise your hand, speak. It is your podcast.
Yeah, because no, you're good. No, because I wanted to let myself know that I had something to say and remind myself that it's something to say, but still let you finish talking. Yeah, because I never interrupt you. I think it's because of the bracelet. I think something to do with that. I don't know specifically, because Miles didn't have the bracelet, so maybe he stays in his own style. Whereas when you have the bracelet, it changes you to the new animation style, and it's also why fucking the Vulture didn't look like anyone else in the Bunnyverse. When they're an anomaly or whatever and they're glitching around, it doesn't make sense because
a lot of sense.
It doesn't make sense with the first movie because they all sort of are the same style. But that's sort of my headcanon of something to do with the bracelet will change your style somehow.
Will change your style.
Either and that's it doesn't how you change your style or it does. Yeah.
And that's how you can explain live action people coming back and forth between shit. Is if you want Tom Holland to show up but like not be a dude, you can make him.
Yeah, I think at that point they would make him. They would do it live. I don't think Tom. I thought it was really funny, like really funny, how they're like, yeah, all of these Spider-Men, these things happen to them, and look at all the Spider-Men that these things happen to, like Uncle Ben's death, and they don't show a single thing from Tom.
No,
they don't show a single fucking thing. No, and I'm like, yeah, because did it happen? I don't know.
Did it? No, we don't know.
Like the only thing we get referencing Tom is Miguel calling him a little fucking nerd. Yeah, which I think it's so funny.
That's what he said, little fucking nerd. That's the one.
I know, yeah. It's so petty, but I think it's really funny that after No Way Home, which was like, look, we love all Spider-Men, which is why we only have 3 fucking movie Spider-Men. I think it's just really funny for this movie to be like, yeah, that guy, we don't care about that guy.
Yeah, he's off in his own corner. He's depressed right now. Let's keep him depressed. We're not gonna take him out of that.
Please.
Yeah. Until he needs to get back with Zendaya because she's gonna be in the next movie.
Yeah, then Timothy Chalamet will play
Paul. People were always wanting him to play Harry. Now he just needs to play Paul. We have a better character lined up. But he has to do the facial hair the same way. He has to do like the weird straight beard thing.
I think it's very interesting that the evil Miles thing, they technically did that in the comics with like the Ultimate Miles coming, like the Clone Saga type thing. That's a different book. There's 2 books that did evil Miles. Like Marvel really is just making comics to adapt into the movies.
Yeah. I mean, they did. Honestly, there was think kind
they
of
might
evil
do
Miles
Paul in future. Wait, in what?
They can't do Paul. They would.
I think they.
No, they won't.
think they might have made this specifically to do Paul in the movies. I don't know. I do not know. I could not tell you. But remember when Marvel was like, yeah, we're gonna make the comics specifically to adapt into movies.
Yeah,
I think Paul is the first example of it being atrocious. You know?
Oh, jeez. Because then, like, because remember, what was it, Brad? Yeah, in Far From Home.
Like, that's gonna be Brad.
It's gonna be
Brad. They're gonna be dating Brad.
I mean, he was in Crazy Rich Asians. What's the actor's name? Remy Hee, right?
Oh,
yeah. He's the one asshole who's dating the actress in Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah, he's gonna be in it because he's a big actor, so they can put him back in this shit. And then Flash is gonna go and be in Venom. I saw someone think that Tony Revolori is going to show up in
I thought you meant Ezra Miller Flash, and I was like, oh no, please no.
Why is my Alexa is going off? Stop it, Alexa. Don't talk.
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you either. Dumbass. We got an Alexa cameo on the podcast as our guest. But yeah. No, I was trying to think of what else happened. Yeah, Evil Mouse is gonna be cool.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. One thing, and the thing I do really like about that though, like I like a lot of things about the Evil Mouse and stuff. The thing I love about these Spider-Verse movies, and it makes it hard to like predict because they don't care about the comics. They don't, like the Spider-Verse comics are good, they're fun, they're enjoyable time. They are so deeply rooted in the most convoluted dog shit lore ever with like the spider totem.
That's what I thought
all this
the whole reveal at the end of this movie was going to be like Morlun. I thought that's what they were going to do. I thought they were going to be like, oh, the reason all this shit is happening, and then because Gil is a vampire. So then I was like, okay, Morlun vampires. They're going to do something there. Yeah. So I thought that's what they were going to do, but there's still like techno something in this.
Yeah, these movies like they said, oh yeah, Spider-Verse as a concept we will adapt. We're not going to adapt the actual story. Yeah. We're going to make the story good. Not that Spider-Get It and Spider-Verse are bad, but they're not. They're just
Spider-Verse is okay.
They're okay. They're fine. They're fun event stories, but these
this is 100 times more stylistic. These are 100 times. These movies are 100 times more stylistic,
cleaner, and
the art's not bad. It's just
like just in terms of like a plot sense of like, I could not fathom the fucking inheritors in Morlun and stuff like that coming into these movies because they just don't fit. Because this is just adapting the idea of what if there was Spider-Man went into the fucking multiverse.
Yeah.
But those comics require that weird lore, and so it's all steeped in that. And I think it's just really nice to like get that refreshing sense of like, yeah, Spider-Man are interacting. It does not matter the rest of this. You don't have to. It's clean, and it's
still really a Miles story. Like, they do a good job. This is the one thing they did. Not the one thing. That sounds so mean. This is the thing that they did really well in the first movie that they still keep to in this is no matter all the shit that's going on in the movie that makes it complicated, it is still a Miles story and a Miles story first.
Absolutely.
And that's even down to, Evil Miles and all that shit might be complicated in the next movie, but it's still a Miles story. It's still going to be centralized around
It didn't feel like Miles Morales inside of Peter's stuff. Because there's this thing with like writing for Miles that like if you a lot of bad writers really want to write Spider-Man, and then they write for Miles and they say that's not the Spider-Man I want to write for, or that's not the Spider-Man I know. So I'm going to throw Peter's. I'm going to basically put Miles in Peter's story, have Miles fight Peter's villains, have Miles do these things and these things. And it was really nice to say like for like the movie to like at the very end because like. It would have like if you think about like fan theories and stuff, it could have been like, oh, evil Peter is the big twist, but it had to do with Miles, it had to do with his uncle and his dad, and like it was integral to him, you know, to the point where like Peter barely exists in this movie. It was kind of
Peter
refreshing.
Gets those twists in and Peter B. Parker was Peter Parker is barely in this movie,
and I kind of
along
liked
with other
it.
Peters.
I kind of thought it was really cool because especially after No Way Home, which it was just the Peter Parker movie, it was really cool for this movie to be like, hey, we got Miles, we got Hobie, we've got Pavreet, we've got fucking Gwen, we've got fucking all these people that are equally as good, if not better, and we're gonna make it all about them, and like. That's
even
really
down
cool
to just like the Mumbattan fight works and none of them are Peter. Think about that. None of those kids are Peter, which is kind of, I don't know, that's fun.
The Spider-Man brand has now evolved past Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Which like is refreshing because now Peter Parker is doesn't have to be the Mickey Mouse of fucking Marvel anymore. In theory, he still will be because the CEOs are stupid and editorial stupid. But in theory, that could mean that editorial will be like, oh, we can have Miles do some of the Mickey Mouse stuff and Peter can have some development because we've got multiple Spider-Men as a concept that can be the Mickey Mouse, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
That was a conversation me and Doug had a long time ago, and I realized that like the Mickey Mouse metaphor doesn't work if you don't know that context.
I don't get the full
I'm not
context,
gonna explain it.
but that's
I'm
okay.
not gonna explain it.
That's okay. I don't need the explanation. That's okay. Mickey Mouse is it's Disney Spider-Man something.
Yeah. Well, it's like the idea that like Spider-Man represents the brand, and so he's not a character anymore. He's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
you don't get mad at
me.
You don't get mad when Mickey Mouse doesn't have character development because he's Mickey fucking Mouse.
Because Mickey Mouse, he just exists, and other characters get the character.
He exists to be slapped on a logo, and that's kind of what Spider-Man has become, and it's frustrating. And that's why I like Miles so much because he's not that, and that's why I want more. You know what I'm saying.
And you also don't get it. You don't get like a regular Peter Parker in this movie too. You don't get like
you get Dad Peter Parker, which is also different from which was great. That was really fun. Yeah.
Is he still 616? Does it matter? No, it doesn't.
Yes,
it doesn't
I'm saying
matter.
he is.
The answer is it doesn't.
It said he was at the beginning.
Is it Earth 99999?
Right so far.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
What's the comics universe?
What?
What's the comics then? Do the comics count in any of this shit?
Comics is 616 also. The number doesn't matter, but they said it was 616, so I like so. And I'm gonna listen to the Spider-Verse one instead of the Doctor Strange one.
That's fair. Okay, that's because we're Earth 616 or whatever.
I don't believe Rachel McAdams when she says that. I don't need.
Was it Rachel McAdams?
What
was the Illuminati? The
Illuminati?
The Illuminati. The Illuminati universe. That was like 838. Why did I think 838 for some reason? I don't know what. I don't know.
Something. Yeah.
Earth Prime, like DC. It's the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
We're in the Arrowverse.
Yeah. I want to do like a breakdown of like how different things have been using the multiverse lately, because like we've got fucking Spider-Verse movies.
This year we have two timeline movies within 2 weeks of each other.
We've got fucking Everything Everywhere, which I think does it the best. And it's very interesting to see the things that just sort of do it to be the multiverse, and do it to just, hey, look at cameos, and then things that actually have thematic purpose. I think Spider-Verse has a thematic purpose to actually be a multiverse movie. And Everything Everywhere is literally a metaphor for fucking like the information era, and I think that's really interesting.
In the grand scheme of things, we hopped on the multiverse trend like really fast,
way too quick,
like really fast,
like a lot
to the
of
point that we're burned out now.
What made it?
And it's only been like 4 years of doing it, which like think about superheroes. That's been going on forever, and we still haven't gotten. And I guess it's more smaller than that, but still,
it's because so many writers like have been forced to write multiverse things, but don't actually understand like why it's interesting. Because like the Spider-Verse used it as a metaphor for people who don't think that Miles Morales is Spider-Man, and it used the lens of the multiverse to tell that story and say something. Fucking Everything Everywhere is a metaphor for information age and social media and stuff like that. And it's really cool. What does No Way Home use the multiverse for? What does that actually
remember these movies? They're good.
In terms of, like, I understand that like the other Peters talk to Tom and stuff like that. I get that. But did they have to be did it have to be multiverse?
Yeah.
To tell this story? I don't think it did.
And I
think it's
It's the thing with
Doctor Strange kind of
skirts the line, and then if you look at the Doctor Strange 2, and if you look at this movie, they're structurally mildly similar. There's a thing about traveling between worlds, and then he goes to a super society that knows about this shit, and they reveal to him, no, you're actually the reason bad things happen. Then he's like, no, I'm going to try to fix it. Then he goes, sees an evil him. There are the parts there in the puzzle pieces that make these stories the same, but the story is so different, and the point of the story is so different. And structurally, they are so different. So even though that there are these same puzzle pieces and all these stories, there's the multiverse puzzle piece. It's down to the evil thing, to the super society, to the traveling. Even though those plot elements are the same, the storyline can be completely different, and the movie can still be good. So this whole idea of repetitive storytelling, I don't think it sticks, because you can still make a script that's not focused on those crazy plot elements, and it's focused on the characters at hand.
So I will defend Multiverse of Madness till the day I die, because I enjoy
it's a great movie.
I enjoy the movie like a lot. But no, you're like, Doctor Strange was a movie that was made because they said we need to make a movie about the multiverse to canonize the multiverse.
Yeah.
And then they sort of try to retroactively fit things around that versus like even versus like an Everything Everywhere situation, even if this wasn't the case, felt like we have a story to tell because of the multiverse instead of the other way around. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
I didn't say that right. Whatever. You get what I mean?
No, you kind of did. It's you have a story to tell because you have the multiverse because you have a story to tell.
Yeah.
There you go.
I said it I said it the opposite way that I meant.
Yep.
And I think it's interesting how like it's really I
like
also just love how we
the
get
multiverse is going to keep going.
Superhero movie that's made by people that like the movie, like making movies, you know.
And we're gonna get more that are gonna be worse, and we're gonna get some that will be good. But like I think the thing is too, the reason we still talk about Spider-Verse, and that movie came out in 2018. You know how long ago that was? I was in freshman year of school. I don't remember shit. I have a terrible memory, but I also don't remember shit. But people still talk about that movie because that's still like one of those cornerstone movies that help define how we think about superhero media, right?
Yeah.
Is this one of those movies? I don't know. We have to wait for the next one. But it's just nice to have one again because we missed it.
This feels like the Batman. It feels like a movie that's like, this is going to be thought about and talked about for a long fucking time.
Yeah,
because it was made as a piece of like it's always,
even if it's
so
not like a
like
giant
magical
cultural juggernaut in the moment, it's something that's still gonna, because I feel like even the Batman wasn't a huge giant cultural juggernaut in the moment necessarily. People talked about it a lot and people discussed it a lot, but then people are only going to keep discussing it as time goes on. This movie and probably the sequel will feel the same, where it's not like, I mean, the box office is actually doing pretty well, but I don't think everyone's going to go crazy over this movie right now. But I do think people are going to keep talking
amazing
about it.
Either.
Yeah,
you know?
no.
It's a thing where like box office when it comes out really doesn't matter. You know, you look at the box office of a lot of like beloved movies that are going to be talked about till fucking the day the sun explodes. Like, we'll find out that they flopped. You know, Iron Giant is something that like is one of the most beloved movies of all time, and it didn't do well at the box office. Yeah, it made its money through VOD and stuff. Not VOD, home video release.
Yep.
And so like, you know, that's why I hate like box office talk in general, because it's like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The only time box office talk matters if it justifies a sequel. If that's the only, you know.
Yep.
That's all.
And it's got one. So there you go.
Yeah, it's got one coming. If this was a 2-year wait, I would be a little bit more upset about the ending, I think, and the pacing and stuff.
Yeah.
But because we also knew, part of me is like, maybe they should have kept the part 1, part 2 naming,
so that people knew so distinctively. That
but
this
also Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 is a pretty bad title. So.
Yeah, or you just call it Spider-Verse Part 1. Why didn't they just call these movies Spider-Verse? No, you want Spider-Man.
Is a keyword. Spider-Man's a big keyword.
The click-through rate. I forgot about the click-through rate.
Also, speaking of names, thank God they didn't call Gwen the Ghost Spider.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
people were like, no, she's Spider-Gwen or Ghost Spider. And I'm like, do you really want to stick to that?
Like, Spider-Gwen in marketing makes sense, you know? But like, Ghost Spider is quite literally the worst thing they could have called her. I cannot stand that name. They had to replace the fun Ghost Rider Spider-Man and change the name of that because of that. And I hate it. I hate it so much.
Ghost Spider.
Also, John Mulaney cameo for 5 seconds was really
that's
funny.
right. He didn't say anything though, right?
No, he did. They used a voiceover from they used a lot of lines. Right. I noticed they used a lot of lines from other movies. They didn't record new stuff. They got like fucking Doc Ock saying "Hello, Peter" from No Way Home. They got like these little things where I'm like, "Hey, that's from a movie." Wait, hang on. That's from. Hey, God. Hey, wait. So go back.
This will be a very fun movie to sit and watch with subtitles when I understand everything that's going on, and I'm not just
or just like the ability to like pause at a frame and look at it and stuff like that.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the movie like 10 more times. I love this fucking thing. This
was
so much fun.
I'm gonna maybe see it again. This summer is very packed with lots of movies. But if I get the chance, I'm gonna try to see this again. Yeah. So, but yeah.
This summer is a lot, yeah. But yeah, no, yeah.
I guess you could say this movie was a blockbuster.
Explain that joke.
No.
To the audio listeners. Explain
to the audio listeners. So I have a gun.
Because again,
right?
I need to remind you, the majority of our listeners are through audio.
I don't
things.
register that.
I found out how to put video on Spotify. Did I tell you this? You have to use. I'll tell you. We're not gonna use this on fucking airtime. You sign up through a thing and you can upload video to Spotify.
Okay, I did not.
I found out about it through. Dallas did an ad on Comics Collective for it, and I was like, "Oh, that's how you do it." Thank you. I didn't watch the rest. I didn't listen to the rest of his episode because I went to the website.
So we worked not in his favor. So don't. So we're gonna do the same thing. People are gonna go to the website.
It was the Chip Zdarsky interview too. I was really excited to listen to it.
Damn. I was gonna say something and I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah. The Succession podcast. Because I got YouTube Music recently and I was listening to the Succession podcast. But when you download the audio, it never works. You have to download the video for it instead, but like automatically downloads the video instead. I'm like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's weird.
Just download the audio. So maybe I should have just gotten Spotify instead of YouTube Music. I don't know, but I don't ever use Spotify. I use YouTube for everything.
Do you get you get premium with YouTube Music, right?
No, I don't.
You don't. Okay, cancel your YouTube Music and just get premium.
I got it for like
price. Because you get YouTube Music with premium.
That's the reason I got YouTube Music is I got like a 3-month thing for it, so that I was like, that makes sense.
So if you get YouTube Music, you don't get premium with it.
Not the one I got.
It doesn't work the other way around. That's weird because premium is the best thing on the planet.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that just because then I can make videos where I say fuck in the first 8 seconds and I still make money if people have premium.
Yeah,
I'm not just saying it because of that. That does help though.
That does help. Yeah, let him say fuck in the first 8 seconds.
Yeah.
Let the first 8 seconds just be him going fuck, fuck, fuck.
I was a little worried about the gameplay video because I said God damn it at the beginning. I was worried I was gonna get flagged for that.
You're gonna get flagged by the
I need to look up like censorship stuff. Anyway, do you have any last thoughts on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1?
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
I do like seeing merch that was clearly made before the name change because it says Part 1. We saw a board game at GameStop that was the Across the Spider-Verse board game, but it said Part 1 on the logo. And I was like, you should have updated this.
Wait a second. Was it originally also both of them called Across the Spider-Verse Part 1? Across the Spider-Verse. Oh, okay. So, because I guess then we shouldn't look into the Beyond the Spider-Verse title then. I was like, do we need to look into what that title means? But maybe they just put it on
because I almost feel like it makes sense to be for the last one to be Across the Spider-Verse because now it's like this group of the cool characters have to go across to get Miles.
Yeah.
But it's just titles. Titles at this point, titles for these big budget things do not matter in the slightest. Yep. What is Infinity War?
What is The Flash? It's not even The Flash anymore, is it?
With the movie's still called The Flash.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be.
Oh, it should have been called. Yeah, it should have been called Flashpoint if it wanted to be fucking.
It should have been called Flashpoint. Yeah.
It should have been called Batman '89 featuring convicted criminal Ezra Miller.
Yeah. You should Batman. Apparently, Sasha's really good at Supergirl.
Apparently, she's really good at Supergirl.
Yeah, Henry Cavill gave it a thumbs up.
But because next episode will probably be on Flash, unless if next week.
Nothing's happening next week. Nothing's happening next week.
I will say, I think the movie will be good.
I also think the movie will probably surprise me in a way that I go, oh, actually, it was pretty good.
Yeah, because I can't fathom this. It is so weird to me that everybody who's seen it loves it. And yeah, of course, I know there's like corporate stuff. I know there's all that, but there are people who are not attached to WB at all. Seeing early screenings from like through other people and being like, this was the best movie ever.
But that also makes me think, what's the magic sauce? What's the magic sauce in here that makes everyone?
I think it's Machete. I think it's Andy.
Just Machete doing something.
Is it Machete or is it Muschietti? I don't know. I'm Italian. I should know.
Bill Hader makes a surprise cameo. If Bill Hader makes a surprise cameo, that's why this movie is good. That's what I'm going to say. Bill Hader's impression of Andy Muschietti on set is hilarious. He's like, hey, man, you're getting chased by Pennywise, man. You gotta be fucking scared, man. It's like, I want to work with that director.
I mean, it could just be the reason people are loving it is because it's just like, hey, Batman '89, and people love that movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Movies. And someone that doesn't really care about those movies, this might be a rough
But then everyone's, if people sometimes say Michael Keaton's phoning it in, so then it can't be just because of him.
Yeah,
there's got to be something there.
And I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Ben Affleck should be the one to phone it in because he's been tired of Batman for 10 years.
He's also probably in it for like 10 minutes or like 5 minutes is my guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I don't fucking know. I don't know.
They said there's going to be a post-credit scene that no one knows yet because it'll only come out when it's on theatrical release. I saw someone guessing it's the Anti-Monitor. Maybe. My guess is it's James Gunn.
He just shows up. Yeah, I think it should just
If he's like, "Hey,
Crisis already." I think just to do a pre-rewrite because those always go well and nobody ever gets mad at me for making them.
Yep. Yeah.
They should have just made this like say it's a Flashpoint adaptation and then at the end be like, "Actually, we're doing Crisis on Infinite Earths and Barry Allen dies." There you go. Now you like now and then the next Flash movie we just say, there's Wally.
It's Crisis on Infinite Earths, but it's Barry Allen that we barely know, Michael Keaton Batman, and Supergirl.
Yeah.
Still better than the CW. No,
Supergirl did die in Crisis, so like.
No, there she dies too. They all die.
Yeah.
Because Batman has to die at some point. Batman died when he got Omega beamed, right? That one time. I don't remember.
He didn't die. Actually, he got sent back in time and
lived. He was a pirate or some shit. I remember. Yeah.
It was great.
I just remember he was a pirate at one point. That's it.
Yeah, it's fun. It was great.
Yeah, that was in Zur-En-Aw. Zur-En-Aw was something else, right?
No, Zur-En-Aw is fun because Zur-En-Aw is a thing from like the Silver Age, where it's really stupid. But then I believe Grant brought it back and made it interesting, and then Zdarsky's bringing it back again and making it more interesting.
I didn't catch up with Zdarsky after Failsafe, but I finished Failsafe and I was like, this is cool. Like you're making it feel like a horror villain.
Zdarsky's a good writer. It's crazy. Crazy what happens.
Yep. When you get a good writer to write a good book with not too much editorial interference.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Superman, obviously.
I'm talking about every single comic. Or just every
comic. Yeah. I'm talking about my favorite comic, All-Star Batman. That's right, baby. All-Star Batman gang in the house. I don't know why.
Scott Snyder's.
No, the other Batman. One, the one that's the meme. That's a cool one. The one that's the meme.
I like that book because I like that book because of what it said about Two-Face. I thought that was really cool.
Not the one where he like carries around Two-Face in a cage.
Two-Face's dual identity sort of like goes in phases and stuff. I thought that was really cool.
We're not going to interrupt each other.
I was just like, I'm going to do this bit and he's going to be mad and I'm just going to keep going.
No, I'm just going to keep. I don't know. We can keep interrupting each other until the end of the podcast. Why don't we do that? We're just going to keep interrupting each other. Keep talking. You're not doing it. You have to interrupt me. You have to do. Okay, that's it.
What?
I thought you stopped the podcast. I thought